Hello, welcome to This Is Most Unorthodox with Jason, Max, and Phillip. Bringing you all of our opinions that you probably don't care to hear, but we're going to give them to you anyway about whatever we decided we wanted to talk about 35 seconds ago, because we have not talked about anything yet today, which is usually how these things, they work out better that way. I am not monitoring the YouTube chat, which I will try to do that here in a second. But yeah, this is Monday episode. We've done this on Tuesday, Wednesday, and now Mondays. Mondays is going to be our time slot. Perfect day for all of us. We're going to be moving over to Phillip's house to do it there.
Yeah, we're all moving in. It's going to be like a big brother situation. It's going to be good.
Orgy at Phillip's.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
Come on, Phillip. You can be the big
spoon. You think the wife is disapprove?
Of the orgy? Yes.
Phillip and I have something going on.
I mean, it's only weird if you make it weird.
That's right. That's what I've been trying to tell Phillip for years.
Oh my God. That sounds so wrong on so many levels, Jason.
Would you say that's most unorthodox, Phillip?
Oh, yes. Highly unorthodox.
We are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/3geeks for all of your audiobook needs. The good people love Audible. I love Audible. Phillip loves Audible. Last night on the podcast, Max was talking about a theoretical 150-pound armed man, like his arm's 150 pounds, that needs Audible because he can't reach for a book. Now, what we were trying to figure out is this guy with an arm that weighs 150 pounds, how is this guy going to reach for a tablet to download Audible if he can't get a book? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. But Max assures us that Audible, if you are overweight or obese and you can't reach a bookshelf, audible.com. Because hopefully you've at least got access to a laptop and you can, listen to George Takei read to you, or Bruce Campbell, or you can listen to the X-Files audio drama, which comes out next month, I believe. audibletrial.com/3geeks. TeePublic, we sell shirts. And you should check out our link in the description of this video. And if you're that 150-pound armed man, like the arm is 150 pounds, buy a couple shirts. Sew them together, make one big shirt. We went over all of this yesterday. I'm just rehashing it on this podcast because it's a funny ad. Anyway, T-shirts, Audible.
T-shirts for the morbidly obese.
That's right. We welcome it all. Anyway, fucking AT&T, right? And it's not just AT&T, it's all of them. They make you go through like a 45-minute automation process, which doesn't work 99.9% of the time, but they have it there anyway, and they wonder why their customers are so irate when they finally get to talk to somebody who doesn't speak English. I have nothing against people that don't speak English. I just think your company should have one or the other. You have the automated service or the can't speak English service. You can't have them both because you just make your people more angry. I hate AT&T now, and I know that they all do it, but I dealt with them today, and it's annoying. It's very, very annoying.
I mean,
press two. I'm sorry, that did not register. For English, press 1. And it takes you all the way back to the beginning. You got to start all over. I hate it. I hate it all. And Max, so you were there on Saturday when I said, well, apparently they're not open on the weekend. Oh, they have service on the weekend. You just got to know their fucking sequence of codes that you have to type into your phone to get to a technical advisor.
It's like when you play Mega Man, you got to beat Metal Man first, and then you use that to go on for the rest of the game. Like, if you don't beat the right boss first, then you're screwed.
Well, they didn't have that Mega Man cheat code for me that I just knew I have it now. They've given it to me now. We're good. I'm leaving that company as soon as I can, but for now, we're good. They're apparently coming out tomorrow, and they give you like a 6-hour window. Luckily, it's a business. And okay, speaking of businesses, you would think that a business pays a little bit more for internet and stuff for various reasons. You would think that they would, service the business a little quicker because, they need internet, especially our business. Like, nothing works in our store without the internet. What, Max?
They already have your money. Like, what the fuck can you do?
That's what I was telling Jeremy yesterday. I'm like, dude, they're just like the airlines. They have to treat you just good enough to make sure you don't go to another airline, but they've all got you by the balls because what are you going to do, buy your own airplane? No. You're going to buy your own internet company? No. You got to use one of the 4, and they all are bad in their own right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's no real fucking upside. Like, it sucks, but Time Warner is fucking lame. Fucking AT&T's lame. Or not Yahoo. Fucking what's the other one? Either way, Wow, okay. Fucking lame.
Wow, Verizon. I can go on forever.
Yeah. I mean, if there's an option where you're like, can I get somebody who speaks English? And then they take you to someone whose English was not their first language, like that is aggravating to the nth degree. I mean, like, why even give me the button then, right?
The first person I got from AT&T today spoke perfect English. Like, it was awesome, very nice, ready to help me. And then she transferred me. She's like, I have to transfer you because you're not in our department. And then she transferred. You would think that the salesmen would be the ones that maybe have broken English, and that the technical advisors would be able to articulate whatever it is they want. No, it's the opposite. It's the salesmen that can speak to you, and it's the technical advisors who have no idea what they're saying to you.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know how many times I said, I want a technician. Have you tried unplugging it? I want a technician. Try unplugging it.
Oh, okay, Jason. So I will teach you some magic words. You need to say, I want tier 3. I want a network engineer. Those are words you need to say.
Tier 3.
Yes, because what you're speaking to. So I work in IT my entire life. I deal with this on a daily basis.
Even when you were a kid?
I was going to go there. I said when you were 3, you were not working IT, Phillip.
Okay. When I was of relative legal age to work. Because it wasn't like I was child labor working for IT.
Hey, some people call it child labor. I call it good parenting.
Nice. But no, like, it doesn't matter. You're always going to deal with that because they want to get you in the door and make you think, all right, this is awesome, amazing service. And then it's cheaper for them to not pay Americans what it would cost to actually do and take all these calls, because that's where they need the majority of the people, is on the initial call. And to move up the level, so what happens, you have tier 1 who takes all your initial calls, who only knows how to read by a script. Believe me, as a technical person, it aggravates the shit out of me. And usually I have to yell at them over and over again, I want the escalation, get me to tier 3, I'm already done all of this. Like, I'll even read them their script, and they still go through their script. So I can completely relate, because I know what the fuck they're doing, but they just, I don't know. I think it's because of the way the system works, because the way they want it, they have to make it so perfect, because they're hiring people, like you said, that English isn't their first language. And number 2, they don't necessarily always have the best customer service. They just don't have that experience. I don't know how much they pay to train these people. Most of them, I know the huge call centers were built in India and various different countries, honestly, just for this purpose. And it's awful. And once you go up the levels, though, then you get people that actually speak English, because it then now becomes equivalent cost. And now you would rather have somebody that can speak English and actually be able to deal with the customer. Because at that point, you now actually have a complex issue. Yeah, it's awful. It's an awful system that, it kind of gets me into a different rant that people were talking about at my work last week, which is the whole deregulation of the FCC, of basically allowing, what's the best way to describe this for the average person? So basically allowing ISPs to charge Netflix and the others for getting priority service through. And in order to ensure that the end customer, as in me and you, gets the best service. However, if that does go to place, and that's what the latest FCC chairman is trying to do, it would then allow these ISPs that you already have dealt with, right, that are horrible. Do you really think they're actually going to guarantee that service if they're charging Netflix or Hulu or whoever for it? No. They're going to just charge them for it, attempt to do whatever they think they can. Never mind the fact that the way it actually works on the internet, the average person doesn't know this, is that you have 15 different ISPs probably between you and where Netflix is. Realistically, it's probably maybe 3 or 4, But in the best case scenario, it's 2, because no matter what, Netflix works with a person that just goes from end to end in the country. They don't go to customers. And so you have to at least get through 2 people. So now, how are you going to get the best service? How are you going to guarantee that? It's bullshit. They're only after your money. It's literally what you said, Jason. They just need to get you in the door, and it doesn't matter because they have everybody by the balls. And it's the same thing with that and the airlines. Let's see, what else? I mean, just general transportation from point A to point B if you don't want to drive, period. There's only 2 people, really. It's trains or planes. And I guess if you want to go old school, you could try and do cruises.
They all count on it.
Cruise to New York.
Absolutely. Like Time Warner, it's like when somebody leaves to go to WoW, like they're gonna get mad at WoW, they're gonna come back, or they're gonna go to AT&T, they're gonna get mad at AT&T, and they're gonna come back because people, you know, are so emotional, and they know it. They know that people are emotional when they come to their systems, and second that one of them messes up, they're going right back to another. So that's pretty much all I have. Oh, I'm going to bring this up because I just watched it. I don't care if this isn't 3 Geeks. I just watched the House of Cards trailer, and it was awesome. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I love House of Cards.
What you got for us, Max?
Actually, I don't have much today because, like, I've been balls deep in this Overwatch latest event that they've got going on. It ends today, so I've been trying to get all the new skins and everything like that before they go away forever. So I've just been kind of like buried in video games for the past few days. I did, we had Trump's 100. You know, he finished his first 100 days.
Oh God. Yeah.
With little to no incident.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah, other than that, like, I mean, I was just like, I feel worn out. It feels like 100 years of Trump.
Oh God, did you see his comment of, I don't know, he was talking with somebody. I just caught the back end of this, which was, he's like, you know, I don't know what we're going to be able to. Everyone keeps saying what I can do in 4 years. They forget that I'm going to try and make it 8.
No, we don't forget that. We just hope and pray that the world ends before that comes to pass.
I don't think I think if he actually has to go through an election, he doesn't have a chance at this point.
No,
I mean,
that's what he said last time.
No, the difference is they actually have seen, like, the people that voted for him. Like, I knew people that I thought were dumb. I was like, their explanation of why they wanted to vote for him, and I'm not talking about the fervent Trump supporters. It's the people that really got him in the office, which was, well, he's different. He'll do things differently. He'll challenge the status quo. I guess technically, yes. If you want a crazy madman doing that, sure. It's different.
You could take the quote from The Dark Knight to describe the whole Trump being elected. You know, they put their faith in a man they didn't clearly understand because they were tired of how it was being done before. And yeah. I mean, that's you know, paraphrasing, but essentially that holds true. You know,
it really
everyone was tired of the system, so they voted for somebody outside of the system, not fully realizing what that meant.
But I'm just like, okay, now you've got Bernie Sanders, right? This guy, while he does work in the system, nobody likes him. Because he's crazy, he's got out there ideas, and he's like, I want the people to, you know, free education, all that good stuff. Like, so he's not part of the system.
Yeah, but the problem is the media can spin him as a socialist, and then you're only a half a step away when you say socialist. You know this country, where we were built on anti-communism from 1960 to basically the wall falling down.
Yeah. But I'm like, okay, you know, if we've come so far and we're so enlightened and, oh, it's 2017, you know, like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I'm just, you know, it's like, yeah, fucking.
Don't worry. I mean, if you look at past presidents and the transitions and all of this, we're going to have an extreme knee-jerk reaction. 2018 will give us the idea on how knee-jerk. Whether or not it becomes that we are suddenly extremely liberal, and going the way of Bernie Sanders, Barry. Good running back, not a politician.
Whatever. Bernie Sanders 2020.
Yeah, 2020. Oh my. But yeah, and so it'll be interesting to kind of see like. And the interesting thing was I was gonna have a couple rants about Trump, about the things that I saw that he said, but then I fact checked articles and found that they weren't exactly entirely truthful. Because if he had said some of these things,
holy shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Trump said something untruthful.
No. Not that what Trump said. What the article actually wrote was not what he said.
Okay.
Yeah. And exactly. I know that's surprising, but it's what I went and talked about, I think, the first episode, that you really do have to look at both sides, no matter if you're liberal, conservative, or Republican, Democrat, however you classify yourself. Do not get your news from one source. If you get your news from one source, you will be misinformed, horribly misinformed. You will think the world is a very different place.
I think we need to stop with the Democrat-Republican thing and just be people.
I would agree, but people
don't
do
think
that.
People are one extreme or the other. I think more than anything, more people are in the middle.
But yeah, you know what it was today? I was watching. I caught a bit of The View. Yeah.
What did you on your day off, Max? The View? Did you follow it up with the talk?
Look. I caught a bit of The View. We're gonna leave it at that. Fucking. But no, it was because Ann Coulter. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. She was on one of the roasts. They like laid into her hard.
Okay, yeah. Fucking Ann Coulter is there, and I'm just like, I hate her. I can't stand her because she is what's wrong. She is a diehard Republican, and I'm looking over here. I need to look at the camera. Fucking, she's a diehard Republican, and she's willing to repeat anything on national television, in her books, on the radio. She's willing to just say whatever obvious bullshit that they're the party is spewing out right now, or that specifically Trump is spewing out right now, because she's not even a hardcore Republican. Right now she's hardcore Trump, and it is absurd. Like I watched this woman on TV get on TV and say Trump is not a liar. He's just a little bit of a bullshitter and an embellisher. I'm like, that's a liar. That's a liar for one. And also, how is that? How does that make it better? He's like, well, he's a murderer, but he really only stabs people. So at least he's got to get close to kill people, right? No, he's still a murderer. You want to lock him up? Like it's.
I don't know. Max stabs people. You're at least giving them a fighting chance.
Right, I was just astounded. I'm just like, how is it okay for someone to mislead the general public on purpose for money, and then we just let it happen all the time? I mean, it's like I'm ashamed of Ann Coulter and like Rush Limbaugh and that fucking dude that Trump gets his news from, like all those people.
Breitbart,
yeah, you know what you're doing. You fucking know what you're doing. And you're bringing people down, okay? You're bringing the IQ of people down, and more than that, the dumb people who is Trump's base, fucking the people who don't know any better and they can't figure out that he's trying to rob them. You're keeping them dumb. You're not helping them come out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what set me off today. I was like, wow, man, this chick fucking gets paid, and people suffer because of it. Not like like physical. I know there's like starving kids in Africa and shit like that, but like that have real problems. But you're misleading the general public. Like there should be something that we could do about this. But there's nothing. I mean, because technically it's all free speech, so yada yada. But like. It just seems to me.
Well, it's one of two things, right? It's either the people know where to go, or that you change the way you deliver the news. And I don't see number two ever happening. We need to educate people on what they have to do anymore, which is sad.
Well, sad thing is that's the problem. We have to change the way we deliver the news.
Oh, now we have, yes, but it's never going to change. There's too much money involved.
Yeah.
And it's why, like, because at one point I would have actually said CNN was moderate, and they're kind of going out. They're becoming essentially just talk radio. They're just trying to get numbers. There are legitimate journalists on CNN, but the problem is they're stuck right next to somebody who's spewing all lies on both directions, good and bad. And it's like there should just be facts. Give people information so they can make decisions. I mean, it's not fucking rocket science. That's the problem that blows my mind. I'm like, why have we accepted this?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not the guy who was like, oh, you know, Trump's president, I'm moving to fucking Canada. But I'm just like, now that he is president and I've sat underneath it for a little while, I just see how dumb people, it's just like, they want to be this dumb. You know, like they can't get, they're afraid to learn something or to figure out that this dude is a bold-faced liar. And I'm just like, I'm losing respect for my country. That's what it is. Like, daily, I lose respect for my country because, I mean, look at the people that we put up. And they're all corrupt, and they all fucking suck. But I don't know where I would go that doesn't have this problem. That's the other thing.
Yeah. Well, Canada's not terrible in that regard, but they had that problem pre their current prime minister, actually. And what's funny is if you watch it around the world, this seems to be a thing. I don't know if it's the generations that got old and this is the knee-jerk reaction of that. Because if you look in France, I don't know when their election is. It's coming up, but they're going through a very similar thing. Like, I can't remember. Le Pen, I think, is her name.
Yeah.
And apparently she is very similar in the background and the beliefs of the isolationist and all of that Trump's pursuing. And I've heard this from other European countries. Oddly enough, this mostly seems to be happening in predominantly white countries. Go figure. I don't know why. I really don't want to go down that road. Because to me, it seems a bit odd. But I don't remember what happened in Canada exactly because I only knew more about Trudeau. Just because he was so progressive, he's trying to change things. But apparently, the previous prime minister was an extreme conservative, but he was actually, well, I won't say was actually, but we don't know. I can't confirm the actual amount of corruptness that is actually going on in the current White House.
Mm-hmm.
So,
in the Canadian White House?
No, our White House. In Canada, it actually was proven that he was corrupt.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, you know, except unlike here, he was very corrupt. And I'm like, I can't disprove or not prove that. Yeah. I mean, because there's already shady shit that Trump wasn't willing to do a blind trust, which I don't even get that. I'm like, really? That's the least you could do for the American people.
Nah, dude, because it's not about the American people. It's about Trump.
Except he says, that's what I wish somebody would actually ask him. Rather than asking him anything else, just ask him straight up. So you say you're for the American people. Why don't you do this for them? Why don't you do this for them? And just ask those simple questions. But everyone wants to ask politics and other questions rather than get to the point.
But, Phillip, if you pose that question to Donald Trump, he would spin you a 25-minute answer where he never actually says anything. And you wouldn't get anything from it. Like, to be honest, like, you already know the answer you're going to get. It's going to be some bullshit.
It's true. It is true. Except he was brutally honest, scarily, I might add. That's why I said I was literally gonna start my own little news channel from what I read, but then I realized that they were too extreme because literally one was he wanted to repeal the First Amendment, which is not news, not real, was not actually said.
Yeah. It
was implied by other news sources, which I do have issues with that as well, because you should not give people that perspective. Because that's not right. Because that's straight. We need to impeach this bastard now because he really is straight going dictator. And then what was the other one? Oh yeah, the other one was even worse, which was that Trump disagreed with our checks and balances in our system, and all of it should be gone. At that point, I was ready to just like, let's go. Let's take him down. But in reality, he just said the Senate was archaic, and then he believes that the system should be more open than it is. I disagree with the fundamental concept, but that's okay because it wasn't like he was actually trying to do anything about it. But go ahead, Max.
Oh no, I think that that senators and all these guys like fucking, you know, these lobbyists and senators and congressmen and all these motherfuckers who are just fucking we pay you. You get paid from taxpayer money, but you try your best. Like, I'm gonna filibuster. I'm gonna filibuster for a fucking week. Like, that's you not doing your job. You know what happens when I fucking filibuster at my job? I get fired.
So, I agree, except there were reasons why these things were created.
Well, I mean, I understand like the parliamentary process and all that stuff, and that's what we use. I agree with Trump a little bit. Like, we need to figure out a system to kind of work.
Except, no. So I get you, Max. I get his argument, but the real problem is we aren't meeting in the middle anymore. That's the reason why the filibuster was created. It was so that way 60% of the people would agree that their representatives would be able to get on a plan. And now it's become, and this is something that deals more with the people that are currently in office, and what it should be done is it should be more punitive to the people in office if they do not work together. That should be what happens. There
we go.
Not getting rid of the system that ideally forces people to be representatives of the country. I mean, that basically still is my argument about Trump, is he only panders to his group. He doesn't realize that he's president of the United States. He's not president of the Trump supporters of America. He is president of the United States of America. And it's the one thing that Obama tried to tell him, but I think he's too much of an arrogant asshole to even think about it or even listen to somebody else, was that even when Obama took office, he actually went more to the right than the way he campaigned, which I had no problem with. I honestly saw that he actually reacted to what he saw and realized, I can't do everything I said I was going to do. I'm going to have to pick and choose and meet in the middle where I can. And to me, that's what a politician should do. But, anyways.
Andrews Ford 2020. Under the ballot. I have to do Andrews Ford, Phillip.
I don't think I'm old enough, sir. I would need another year. So Andrews would be president.
So Max could be president.
Yes, Max would have to be president.
No one would shoot Phillip so that I would be president. There's no way. Now, I know someone would shoot me to make Phillip president.
The problem is, Max, I wouldn't be old enough.
I'm not old enough either, but
in 2020 you would be.
How old are you?
I'll be 34.
I thought you only had to be, or you had to be 35.
35, exactly. That's my problem. That's why I could be vice president.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to look. Obama made it out okay, but I don't think I got the same luck. Because I would get shot, and it would be a cop what did it.
Oh shit!
I'm just like, your Secret Service popped me in the ass one day. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. President. I was confused. It happens all the time.
Oh shit!
Phillip, what do you got for tonight? That was off of a topic that Max didn't even plan on bringing up.
Me and Phillip met at Trump again.
Exactly. Maybe that's what will unite this country.
Yes.
Unintentionally. No, honestly, I actually went into my topics, which was actually filibuster, because he thought it was archaic, and I understand where he was coming. Like I said, I read different articles where I was going to go on a serious rant.
I'm not against the filibuster, but I feel like they should go back to old school rules. You can't threaten a filibuster and have it go through. You fucking stand there. You're not allowed to use the bathroom. You're not allowed to go get a drink of water. You're not allowed to leave. You fucking stand there and talk and continuously talk until you are done. That is a filibuster. They fucking got some bullshit now where like, oh, we're going to threaten a filibuster, so that technically means we filibustered.
Yeah, it's like little kids playing Monopoly.
Yeah, dude. Like, yeah, no, fuck that. Like, hey, if you want to stand there and shit in your pants to prove your point, then I might see something like, okay, you obviously believe in what you're talking about. But, ain't no one is gonna stand up there and piss themselves to prove a point. We're past the days of hardcore politicians. Actually, no, I think somebody did do an actual filibuster recently, maybe a few months ago. where she actually like stood up and read and yada yada for the time. But like, yeah, man, like it's too easy now. It's too easy to just subvert the whole process. And that's the problem I have. That's what I say when we need to change the system. Like you know, we still need a system. I just think it's so easy to shortcut and get around, you know, doing things the way you're supposed to. And like they've hijacked the government. The government isn't for or of the people anymore. Yeah. And that's my main problem. So I didn't want to seem like I'm agreeing with Trump that we need to just get rid of it and don't worry about what we're going to put there after it's gone.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I feel like, you know, yeah, especially with the filibustering, because that's bullshit, man. Like you can't just take the government hostage.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what politicians do anymore. I agree with you in that regard. Like, to me, it doesn't need to be that the system needs to be changed. We need to go back to the original rules, the true original rules, and screw the modernization that we've done. Because realistically, a lot of that existed for very specific reasons. And that's the part that, like, too many people, like, ignore. Like, if you still go look at England, they still do the crazy shit they used to do for hundreds of years.
Yeah, they're wearing wigs and shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a point to that. Now, some of it's a bit extreme, but at the same time, yeah, I mean, the wigs are a bit extreme, but I get the point, right? It's that if you're gonna be there, that you're committed to it, right? Like, you're gonna look foolish on TV wearing this wig. You're probably gonna be hot and sweaty and uncomfortable, but you know what? You believe in what you're doing. And they still like yell at each other, and it's actually the point of trying to get their points across. Whether or not it looks, I've seen some of it, it looks like a fucking chaotic mess, but they get shit done. And I'm like, if that's what it takes, let's do that. Like, I mean, if we need to go back to the old days where, what was it? I think it was Jackson, and they started having duels because they disagreed with each other. Let's do that.
I am about, I think that everyone should carry a gun in America, and I'm about having duels. I say duels should be a thing. I mean, if people want to shoot each other, they should be able to go off into their own space, have their seconds observe them, shoot each other, and then they don't shoot anybody else. Like, what's wrong with that, right? That's better than it is now, where you get people who don't want to get shot, they're getting shot. People who want to do the shooting can't get a gun. Like, it's chaos.
I'm not touching that one, Max.
Well, thank you guys for watching. This is Most Unorthodox. We're ending on a happier note today. We will be probably, well, 2/3 of us will be at Phillip's next week, right, Phillip?
Yep.
Vote Andrews Ford in 2020. I think we established that. And if you are extremely fat, like we're talking 1,000 pounds, and your arm by itself weighs 150 pounds, audibletrial.com/3geeks.
That's for you.
You don't even have to move. Like, if you're getting gravy pumped through an IV into your arm, this is for you. This is the, like, if you'd have to get like a crane to go to the hospital, Audible is for you.
You gotta get a crane to go to your front door.
Oh, that is audibletrial.com/3geeks. And if you are that 1,000-pound person, then go to TeePublic, buy yourself 12 shirts, and have somebody in your family sew them together and make you a moo-moo. From all of us at This Is Unorthodox, have a great evening.